Hey everyone, welcome back to Confident, Courageous, and Clear with Sherry. I hope you've been enjoying the episode so far. I know I have enjoyed spending time with some of my guests, and the best is still yet to come. So, we're a few episodes in, and before we get to today's guest, who I know you're going to love, I wanted to share a couple of thoughts with you. Now, as we were doing our interview together, with this week's guest, I really started to think about something that she said that stood out to me so much. She made the comment that sometimes we forget what kind of role model we are as women. Now, you're going to hear her talk about how she's a mother and how she wants to show up and how her daughters view her. But before we get to that, let's think about this. I'm a mom. And my daughter thinks I'm the most fabulous thing that ever lived. I'm not perfect by any means, and she knows that. But I truly am her role model, her superhero. My daughter and I are pretty close, and I know, as you heard in my very first episode, how important it is to have that love from your mother. And sometimes we forget that there are people out in the world watching our every move, seeing how we problem solve, processing how we show up. And for those girls out there or boys who look to their moms for so much guidance, we are their North Star, their shining light. I want to talk to you about a situation that had happened to me that just, it was probably one of the best days in my entire life. My daughter was getting ready to graduate from high school, and she was starting to do all of her essays for college. And we knew she was going to go somewhere because she was pretty good in theater and she was looking at some scholarships and different things. And she had to write her essay about her greatest role model, someone that she looks up to and that she always knows is going to be her guiding light. Well, she didn't tell me, but the school counselor called me and she told me that I was going to have to make sure that I talked to her about her essay. So, of course, when we got home, she actually approached me and shared it with me. Y'all, first off, she put me on quite a pedestal for sure. But more importantly, what I realized as I was reading her essay so many years ago, almost 15, how much what I did mattered. She talked about how she learned how to be a strong woman for me. She talked about how she learned how to be that person that's kind and caring to others for me, that person that never gives up when times are hard. And of course, it brought tears to my eyes. Now, this isn't about my story necessarily, but it is about our realization that what we do in the world, especially as women, especially right now in 2023, really matters. There are people watching us, looking up to us, and how we approach things has a lot of influence on others. For example, if life is hard for you right now and everything you've talked about was negative, Do you think that maybe those around you would start to have that same feeling? I know a lot of times, because I also work in a school, I hear my students say things in a particular way, and I have to step back and just think, I know where they got that from. Even in my own family, my nieces, my nephews, just hearing them and how they approach certain things in life, I know where they get it from. And a lot of times it's from their mom. I know in my family, we had kind of silly little ups and downs, but I remember my aunts being so close to my grandma, and they did things so much alike because my aunts really believed that my grandma was her biggest hero. So let's talk about the other end of the spectrum. Our kids see us in the place where we are right now. They don't see us when we were first becoming adults or first starting out in marriages or partnerships or in our careers. And when they look up to us and they see where we are now, sometimes they feel like they need to judge themselves based on where we are currently as compared to where they are currently. I know my daughter did this, and I know today's guest talks about this in the same manner. So, knowing that we are looked at in a way, whether we like it or not, that puts us in a position to influence others, especially if you're a mom, an aunt, a sister, a somebody important to somebody in their life. We need to really think about how we show up. It really is the premise of the whole show, Confident, Courageous, and Clear with Sherry. I want this show to be able to provide you with just one little nugget, one little strategy that can help you build a life that you love, that you're not just surviving the hurdles that come along in your life, but you're thriving. You're continuing to make a difference in the world, and you're continuing to be that role model that has a positive influence on so many others, including our own children. So, as I mentioned at the start of the show, I cannot wait for you to meet my guest today. Dr. Rachel Alex is someone I've known for about 8 years, and you're going to love her just as much as I do. So, when we come back from our break, you will get an opportunity to meet Rachel and hear all about how she is thriving in life. Welcome back to Confident, Courageous, and Clear. I am so excited. This is the best part of the show because I get to have my guest join us. Today I have Dr. Rachel Alex. Hey, Rachel.
Hey, hello. So happy to be here.
And Dr. Rachel Alex and I met each other about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
We were working together in the school district. And what I remember about her is just her energy. You have such a presence about you, such an energy that makes me and so many others just want to be part of your whole world. And when they hear your stories and when they know the work you've done, we know exactly why.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I mean, that's a huge compliment, especially coming from you, because I know how selective you are. So thank you for that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So let me tell you a little bit about Rachel, and then I'm going to let her share a whole lot about her journey because it is an amazing one. You've gone through some things in life, so I can't wait for my audience to hear. So, Rachel has been blessed with many opportunities to expand her capacity for fortitude, resilience, forgiveness, and self discipline. Her transparency will leave you inspired as she shares her story of self discovery and resilience on her path of overcoming hardships and heartaches to celebrating her healing and ability to love wholeheartedly. Welcome, Rachel Alex.
Wow, that sounds so amazing to
It was so
hear.
professional, right?
I love that. I love that. Wow,
Yeah.
I want to know her, right? Yes.
Absolutely. So you're on Confident, Courageous, and Clear because we highlight women who have had challenges happen to them in
Mhm.
life, just as we all have. But instead of just saying, I'm going to let life determine my future, you said, no, no, no. I'm going to thrive and I'm still going to make all of my goals and dreams happen. So why don't you tell the audience a
Mhm.
little bit about your journey?
Well, I've had the opportunity, like I said, to build resilience and fortitude, which I did not really understand that word completely, because there. I don't care what the plan is, the perfect timing, any of those things. There's always going to be obstacles and challenges. Just every time you try to elevate yourself, you are not going to escape it. So just decide that when you are going to do something new, just be prepared. There's going to be challenges, but you have to decide no matter what, this is what I'm going to do to stick it through. I can do hard things, is what I've learned, and I am a person of completion. So and when I set my mind to those things, I do it. Now I have had to overcome many things. I've been divorced after nearly 20 years. That's hard. I've been widowed after a 5-month marriage. That's hard.
I remember.
And then learning to trust it all again um, was really scary, to marry a man who is, I feel like I was completely designed for. And he me, it's a beautiful thing. But in all of those things, um, I became and still becoming someone new, and new and better and improved, even when I thought I was good and going to the next level. And every time having to dig into a part of me that I did not know was there, because there's no one there to get you through it. You have to determine that this is what I'm going to do and do just that. And I rely heavily on my faith. And I just know that a faith that can't be tested can't be trusted. So I embrace it and decide, okay, this is what we're doing, and I'm going to do it.
And that's the thing about you is that number one, you're so very honest. But number two, I love the fact that you don't give up. I know that so many times we see so many people, they want to just put the blame on everyone else. They want to just, okay, this is just how my life is going to be.
Mhm.
So, okay, instead of stepping into that strong woman and knowing that you still have the control over how you respond when things happen to us. We can't control those things, but we can control our response.
And that right there is probably I think that was the first real challenge that I felt like I had to overcome, which really opened the door for everything else. I felt like, as a young woman, and you think about the seasons in your life, getting married, having children, I did everything based on what I saw everyone else do. And I approached the marriage as though my mother, the way they did it, the way my grandmother did it. But along the way, I never thought about how we should do it. Like, what's our ideal marriage? So we went in just repeating the same things, and I became something that I didn't recognize in myself.
It happens so often.
It happens so
Yeah.
often. And, after nearly 2 decades, 3 children, the whole 9 yards, there was just a sense of, this can't be it. This can't be it. And that's nothing to do with him. That's nothing to do with all that, the design of myself and my children and just the story of it all. It came to fruition when it was my daughter's senior year, and we had to put together, and at this time we were separated. Um, we had to put together a book, a family book, and pictures of us and pictures of of me, the kids, and everything. And as I looked through family photos over pretty much the last decade, which was her senior year, there was not a picture of me anywhere.
Wow.
And when you go through like hundreds of photos over years and there is no evidence of you, it just really, it really resonated that I truly disappeared. Where did I go? And no one missed me because I was what everybody else needed me to be, but I don't know where I existed for myself. And that was a hard lesson because the first thing you do is you want to find blame. You're trying to find a rationale as to what it is. And it's what we do. We become a
Mhm.
mom, we become a wife,
Mhm.
we become everything for everyone else. But I know this was not it for me. This could not have been it for me. And in this level of self-discovery, forgiveness had to happen. Not for who I thought should be blamed for it, but the person to blame was myself. But I did not know that. I did not know that I was supposed to, how I was supposed to exist in these different arenas because I never saw anyone do it.
Oh, that's so important what you just said. So many important things. You disappear because that's what we do. We become everybody's everything and we lose ourselves. It's just what I just focus on with my clients when I'm coaching them. And then what you said, it's everybody else's mold. We don't know, so we're grabbing on to everything else, thinking that that's how we're supposed to live. But more times than not, it doesn't work for us as an individual.
No,
And then where were you? Because I went through something very similar, and I remember going, "What do I want out of life?" Because I had forgotten at that point.
and that's really true because I remember someone asked me, "So what do you like to do?" I didn't know. What do you like to eat? I don't know. I've compromised so many bits of myself that I didn't know what was really me. And I always thought that I was pretty self aware, present, and all those things. But what I found out was really I had imposter syndrome because I showed up the way I thought everyone else wanted me to show up. And there's fear in that because there's
Mhm.
really an opportunity for what if they don't like this version of myself. But the thing is if I'm unapologetically me and I'm self aware of who I am, my purpose, and all those, I would be okay with that.
If they're not on your side, they're not your people, right?
Yeah, and the thing is I did not know that. So there's no way for me to figure out what I need. There's no way for me to figure out my purpose. There's no way for me to do any of those things if I'm not self-aware. I can't tell you what I need if I don't know.
Absolutely.
I can't tell you what it takes to make me happy because I didn't know. I did not know. And so that was a really big piece of that self discovery and forgiveness because I had to forgive myself. Here I am, nearly 40 years old. I mean, when there's, really realizing this, nearly 40 years old, and I'm figuring out that there was no part of me that I recognized. I was this fly girl from Los Angeles, California. And all of a sudden, that was very ambitious and wanted great things out of life. And all of a sudden, I was just settled and I was just showing up everywhere for everyone else. And I did not know anything about who I
Mhm.
was at this stage of my life.
Wow. And again, this just happens so often with so many people. So, how did you get to a point where you are this confident?
Mhm.
Because, and this self aware, because you know exactly, you just finished your doctorate.
Yes.
You have gone through so much and still coming out thriving on the other side.
Yeah. So the thing is, and that fortitude is really in an offer. Woo, that's some tough stuff, but it's so well worth it. I love what I was able to accomplish, and the things that I've accomplished along the way. And the thing is I have to decide that I'm going to do it. Hard things are going to happen. Critical things are going to happen. Loss is going to happen. There are so many things that are going to happen. But the thing is, is if you approach a new thing with the burden of everything else and don't make room for new, you're going to burn yourself out. Why are you trying to do old things when you're trying to do new things? So before you take on a new thing and you decide you're going to explore something different, what are you going to give up? Because saying yes to something means saying no to something else. And if you're yesing everything, you're going to overwhelm yourself in ways and you will do nothing well. So I have to let go of some things.
I always say nothing changes if nothing changes.
Nothing changes if nothing changes. It's just
Mhm.
another whatever it is, whatever you collect, binders or whatever it is, it just becomes something else. So the thing is, if I want to become something new, something more, then I have to let go of what does not fit into that scheme and put it where it belongs.
So let me ask you this. One thing that I talk to my clients about when you are making change, it doesn't mean you throw away everything.
No,
You
no,
don't scrap it all. You
no,
take the best parts and you enhance what's not working.
absolutely,
And it sounds like that's exactly what you did.
absolutely. You have to, because you can't hold it all. There's no way for you to be able to embrace new if you have no room.
Absolutely. I so agree with that.
And it's okay, and it can be scary. People don't mind change. They don't want to be changed, and that's inevitable.
Hmm.
And once you decide, okay, this is a new thing, I'm going to have to ride this one through. Okay, and my motto has been through all of these things, grow through what you go through. So what's the lesson here? What's the lesson here? So that way I can get it. And thing is you can't think, oh, if I do everything right and I'm always this and I'm always that. Like there's a checklist that will make you just keep you under the radar from life happening to you. Life happens to everybody. You are not exempt. But the thing is just understand it's part of it.
I love that. I think that that's so profound because I remember being 24, getting out of college,
Mhm.
coming to Houston and starting my first real job, right out of college, thinking I had all the boxes checked.
You know I love a list.
Oh yes, I mean we're teachers, we're administrators. That's what we do, and you learn over time that that list almost keeps us small too. It holds us back and it puts us in those
Mm.
molds. And the sooner you realize that, the faster I think you can get to the point where, like you said, change is exciting. The not exciting part is the inside change you have to do within yourself.
I love lists, but what I learned about lists are ideas of perfection. The problem with perfection is that it does not allow for excellence to happen. Because can you think about the things that you plan and then they come out better than you even imagined? They weren't even on your checklist. So if you limited yourself to just a checklist,
Mhm.
that's based on what you know, but not the possibility of something even greater. So it's not that you're there. Checklists are there for systems and things that you need to make sure you have on your list. But when an idea happens, allow it to bloom, allow it to grow, allow other perspectives, allow for all of that to happen, because perfection is really limited.
Oh, I love that. I'm a former perfectionist myself.
Oh, me too. Yeah. There are no meetings for us.
Yeah, no, there's not, right? We should start one though, maybe.
I know, right?
But that's so important because everybody wants, I sometimes liken it to your filtered pictures on social media, right?
Oh,
Everybody
yes.
thinks those pictures of these people are just everybody's so beautiful and so in shape and so perfect. But then if you saw the real picture before the filter,
They look like everyone else.
exactly. And we all filter our lives based on what we want people to think or want people to know. But if you really want to be that unapologetic person, the
Mhm,
one living life on your own terms, you
mhm.
really have to be able to just say, this is me, here
Right.
I am.
And transparency, that unfiltered look is scary, and it makes you so vulnerable,
Hmm.
right? So what made me okay with those imperfections? And that's okay. I mean, that's just by design. They're
We're
there
human,
for an
right?
absolute reason, right? They're there by design. My daughters are now adults. But I remember as they were growing up, they would say, I would always tell them, I want you to be better than me. And they would look at me with this look like I was a unicorn, like there's no one that is better than you. Like you're this and you're that. And and I was after a couple times, I'm like, okay, so tell me about this look that you give me when I say I want you to be better than me. And they started listing these great characteristics. So, I'm like, wow, that's what you think of me. And that's all fantastic. But I had to let them know that this is not the beginning. This is years of mistakes, years
Mhm.
of truth seeking about myself, years of learning, years of feedback, years of mentor, years of so much that involves growth, hardship, heartaches, you name it. It's all of those things where I have had the opportunity to come to this level of me. The thing is you have me. So you can far exceed who you are. But the thing is what I failed to realize is that as they were becoming women and going through life, they are married and all these things, there was a sense of they were failing because they were comparing themselves to where they see
Mhm.
me.
Mhm.
The problem with that is they didn't see me at their age or at their stage with the hardships and the struggles and crying in your car and crying in the shower and just feeling like just overdone, overwhelmed, and underjoyed, just all of those things. They did not realize that I went through those same things. But I did not realize that that conversation needed to exist. And so when it comes to really being transparent, recognizing that that's what they see, they don't realize that part. So I have to make sure that when I share my story, I share with them, this was the bad part. You're doing great. You're doing great, even though I may not feel like it, but you
Yeah.
are.
And that's the thing. Our kids, they look up to us so much, especially
Yes.
as mothers. We are supposed to be the ones to
Yes.
take care of everything. And it's that filter again, they start to realize what we accomplish and what we do for them when
Yes.
they're older, but they don't see that other piece. So
Oh,
I think, one of the big takeaways today is it's okay not to be perfect,
please don't.
but keep growing, keep going, and don't give up. Having said that, what
Mhm.
what would be one piece of advice that you would give my audience if they're struggling right now, that life is really challenging them and they just want to let life determine their future, and we don't want that for
Mhm.
women in the world? What would you
Wow.
tell them?
Don't stay small. Just don't allow anything to keep you small. Just know that you were designed for beautiful, fantastic, great things. And you need to just be brave enough to do it. Do it scared. Speak your
Do it
mind, even
scared.
if your voice shakes. I wear that shirt constantly, but do those things. And I was reminded today, you know how Facebook memories pop up?
Yes.
And you know how I put some of those things on there, those quotes and things that are on my mind. But it said today's one was, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough.
Love that.
So anytime you're going through something and you're going to wanting to do something new and you're wanting to do it, it's okay to be scared. Do it scared. But that fear, I learned that the acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real. And you might be thinking, well, what if I fail? Well, what if you don't?
Absolutely.
Look at me. I mean, I'm well in my 50s and
We both are.
and just finished my doctorate. So I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping. And since then, I've taken two more courses. I wanted did a proposal writing class, and I've also done becoming an signing agent. And so the thing is, I'm still becoming just because I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, I'm all these things. I'm resilient. I am magnificent, and I'm unapologetically me. And that means that I am curious. It means that I am always going to approach life as though, okay, here's a new challenge and I'm going to be better for it, but I do it anyway.
I love it. I
But when
love
I'm
it.
tired, I listen. When my
And
social meter is
she
done,
does. She shuts
when
down.
my social meter is done, it is done. So the thing is, I listen to myself. I'm self aware and I know when I need to stop.
I love it.
Yeah.
So we are about to be out of time, but
Okay.
before we go, what how would people connect with you if they wanted to continue this conversation?
Well, I am on LinkedIn and Twitter under Dr. Rachel Alex. I will next year when I retire go into some consulting business for leaders, and I do have a business name. It is called Help in Schools for Highly Effective Leadership Practices, where I will do some coaching and training and so retreats and all those things that help build leadership capacity, which directly aligns with my research. And any of those social media outlets, I will be happy to reach back out. So thank you so much for the follow, because I'm hoping that it's going to come.
Absolutely. Be sure to check her out and follow her. She's amazing, as I said before. And I'm just so excited that you were able to join me today.
Me too. Me too. Thank you for the invitation.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you for joining in once again on Confident, Courageous, and Clear. I hope that you got just a little nugget of something that can help you start building your best life. And more importantly, not let life determine your future, but for you to be able to make it all that you want it to be, fulfill all of your goals and dreams. I will see you next week. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you, Sherry.
Bye.
Bye.